Protože jde o kolektivní imaginaci možného. Protože jsou různé způsoby komunikace. Protože umění je jediný z těchto způsobů. Protože i když se zdá být umění bezubý, stále k někomu promlouvá.
So I suppose I can first introduce this exhibition. It's an exhibition of video art, and it consists of recent video artists, I would say, who live and work in London and who live and work largely in Prague. So I see it as some kind of confrontation of these two art scenes as they are reflected in video art. The exhibition is taking place in Třeboň, which is a small town, but it runs once a year a film festival, and the idea came actually to run this exhibition in parallel with the film festival in order to show some similarities and also differences between the tradition of cinema and tradition of video art.
Lucretius Carus kdysi předpokládal, že to, co vidíme, jsou slupky předmětů a tvarů. Vše se jako cibulové pájetky odděluje od předmětné skutečnosti a vplouvá do oka.
I myself also make video art, and I am quite conscious of these differences, but I'm also quite conscious that perhaps more recently many video artists are crossing these boundaries, and they seem to be encroaching on the strategies and conventions of cinematography much more than it used to be in the past, or perhaps at the beginning of the whole story of video art, sometimes in 60s.
But it wasn't immune to a kind of rhetorical abuse, and I think that's what I saw.
This was also a concern of mine to look at these tendencies and see it as some kind of survey of the situation. What also interested me was the differences between London and Prague. London has become in the last 20 years a really open, cosmopolitan and multicultural city, and artists from all over the world come there to work and live. And this cannot be said about Prague, despite the fact that the Prague art scene is trying to be open and trying to project itself. That kind of openness simply doesn't exist in Prague. So that was also the aspect. It is also quite obvious that this influences their language and their expression and their concern. Well, the concerns are actually very similar. I suppose in both cases, or most artists, although it would be generalization to say that is actually all of them, but nevertheless, most of them deal with certain kind of critique of contemporary situation, contemporary life, contemporary society. But they go about it in a slightly different way. I think the video art from London is more epic, I would say. It's more subtle with its critical comments and critical view. The Czech art is more forceful in that sense, and it uses simpler strategies. It uses sometimes quite biting irony, but it's also quite moralistic. It offers really some views of certain values that it considers to be in short supply in the recent contemporary society, like some spiritual values or some moral values. So this is, I suppose, quite interesting, and was quite interesting for me to begin to see these differences, but also similarities. So one could perhaps mention the video piece by Pavel Mrkus just behind me, which does have that spiritual dimension. World that we live in and depend on and part of is perhaps falling apart, and the question is why, and the answer could be yes, of course, because of us. This again behind me is a video piece by Mark Ariel Waller, who does directly refer to cinema. Here's a video of Laura Provost, who is the latest Tenor Prize winner, and this is one of her earlier pieces. It is a story about a grandfather who was a conceptual artist who began to dig a tunnel through the earth and got lost in that tunnel, and Charlie the dog comes to rescue and goes to look for him and comes back without the granddad in rather bad shape.